Welcome back to another Lucky 44 tutorial. This one is going to be on spawning vehicles with crews and setting them on waypoints. In the last few tutorials we've spawned groups using the BIS function spawn groups and using other methods, the class CFG group config method, and we looked at one brief method of spawning an individual unit. I hope that was clear enough for those who are interested in doing that, because that's a valuable tool as well. But here we're going to spawn a vehicle with a crew and then set it on waypoints in the way we've used before. So the first thing I have to do is create a squad that is a group name. So this is a brand new group that hasn't existed on the map at all. So I'm going to give it the name squad1 with an underscore, keep it local, and then use the syntax createGroup and then tell it what side this unit, once created, is going to be on. And it's going to be on east, which is OP4, Pakistani, or Russian, etc. Next, as I said, I'm going to use the BIS function spawn vehicle, calling that, and here are the arguments that I'm going to use for that. The first one is just to tell it the location. So everything before the comma is the location. And I'm going to use ye olde getMarkerPos spawn point 1, which we've been using previously, to keep that consistent. The second argument is going to be the direction on a 360-degree compass where I want it to be facing once it spawns. For this exercise I'm going to have it spawn on that road, so I want it at about 70 degrees. And then the third element is going to be the exact vehicle name, which I can get from a variety of sources, like the Sick Boys 6 class website that I listed before. I'll put that in the text of the YouTube video, etc. And so that's going to be a T-72, a Pakistani Army T-72. And then I tell it what the name of the group I want it to be part of is. And that's it. That's going to spawn my crew and then instantly pop them into the vehicle and set them facing 70 degrees. That's the first part. The rest is pretty simple. I'm going to add waypoints, and I've made one change to what I was doing before. So before I just had 2 move waypoints and then a search and destroy waypoint. So that's the same. All that is just like I was doing in the last tutorial. What's new here is I'm giving it a 4th waypoint that I'm going to make another search and destroy waypoint. And I'm going to set it for a MarkerPos WP1D, which I have to add to the map. And then I'm going to add a 5th waypoint, which is going to be 1E, which I need to change that. And that's going to be a cycle waypoint. So if you're familiar with cycle waypoints, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it move to here, then move to the 2nd waypoint, move to the 3rd one, and begin a search and destroy routine. It'll stay on that for a certain length of time, a few minutes. I'm not sure exactly how that's determined. And then it'll go to the 4th waypoint and do another search and destroy routine. And then I'm going to place the 5th waypoint, waypoint 1E, on top of 1C so that it will cycle back and forth between the 3rd and 4th waypoints, endlessly doing search and destroy. Now, so far that's just one vehicle. And if I only wanted one vehicle to do that, that's all I'd need. But in this case I want to make it a platoon of 4 T-72s. So I'm going to sleep for 10 seconds after I spawn the first tank and set it onto its waypoints. And once it's safely moved off of that spawn point, I'm going to spawn a 3rd tank with exactly the same syntax. And then I'm going to sleep for 9 seconds to let that one move off. And then I'm going to spawn another and sleep 9 seconds and spawn another. So that'll give me 4 tanks. Because they're all going to join squad 1, they'll treat the first one that spawned as their leader, and they'll follow him, and he's off and running on his waypoints. So let's jump down into the editor and see how that goes. Okay, here I am in the editor, and as I said, I've got my spawn point marker, I've got my waypoint 1A, 1B, and 1C, but I don't want 1C out there. Yeah, sure I do. I'll leave 1C there, and I'll create another one that'll be waypoint 1D, and I'll put it on the other side of the road so that he'll patrol over there for a while. Let's even move them farther apart as they go crashing around the underbrush. And then I'll create a fifth one, not counting the spawn point. And as I said earlier, I'm going to put it, and here's a little trick. I'm going to hold down the shift key and I'm going to pivot it 90 degrees so that I can see when I glance at my waypoints that I've got two waypoints there, one on top of the other. They don't have to actually be right on top of each other, but why not? Okay. Whoops, don't save. I mean, do save, don't clear. Save it, and let's preview. Suppose I should sing a little song during this time, except that that would be scary. You'd probably rather just have silence. Okay, here's my doctor. He's a doctor, not a miracle worker. And there's my truck, and I know that right in front of me on the road is the waypoint, so I run into it. Boom, boom, boom. There's my tank. If you caught it real fast, you saw, and you watch again, you'll see the units, the crew spawns just outside it. And then they jump in. Wait 9 seconds. I could probably wait less than 9 seconds on this second and third and fourth ones. So the lead tank, you can see, has now run onto the search and destroy routine. Let's run up here and see if we can get a look at it. So there they go, searching and destroying. They're trying to get into formation position, no doubt. Don't run me down. Do want to run me down. All right, and that is creating vehicle crews. You can also do that. You can create air crews, spawn them in the air, and set them onto waypoints. That takes a little practice getting used to, but it's not hard to do. Alright, that concludes my series on spawning units via scripts. Hope that that's been helpful. If you have more questions, type them into the comments on the YouTube video and I'll try to help.